Director of Healthcare Solutions with DataMotion. I'm certainly glad that you've joined us today. On the webinar today, we have a number of things in store for you. I have a great assistant in Andrea who will be helping with the slide deck. And Andrea, next slide, please. So as we look at why DataMotion does these customer webinars and why DataMotion is really in this business is to serve you, our customers. And we do that through a number of avenues. One of the things we do in our services is help you by improving compliance. Using DataMotion solutions truly improve compliance by minimizing your exposure. We help you in containing costs, and those costs are not just the cost for security breaches, but also just cutting the costs of faxes, printing, postage, and courier services. We help you increase customer loyalty and trust. I recently spoke with one of our customers, and they were able to retain a critical customer because of their commitment to privacy and protection of data. And lastly, by minimizing the risk of data breaches, we keep you, our customers, safe and out of danger. Next slide, please. Today we're going to talk about a number of things. I'm going to go into a lot of detail about the DataMotion platform, including some new features which I think you're going to find really exciting and fun. I'm going to introduce you to one of our newest executives here at DataMotion. I'm going to talk about some resources available to you, our customers. I'm going to introduce you to our highlight customer of the quarter. We'll have some question and answer time, and then we'll have the drawing for the Starbucks gift card. So I hope you'll all stay on through the question and answer for that drawing. Next slide, please. So I think we'll start today with a poll question. Now that question is, do you ever wish that your recipients, the customers you or participants you send mail to, could receive that encrypted email without having to click on a link and go to a portal? Go ahead and select your answer right now, yes or no. I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to do that. About half of you have voted so far. That's fantastic. I love your attention to the webinar. It certainly is appreciated. We'll go about 10 more seconds. 3/4 of you have joined and voted so far. 5 more seconds to get that final opinion. Have you ever wished your recipients could get an encrypted email without having to go to a portal? 3, 2, 1. All right, Andrea, let's close the voting and see how it came out. Well, as you can see on the screen, virtually 100% of you that voted said that yes, you really do wish that recipients could receive encrypted email without having to go to a portal. Well, guess what? That's good that you said that, because DataMotion has a solution we want to tell you about. Next slide, please, Andrea. So within the DataMotion platform that you already have, we actually have a solution that enables our secure mail delivery of information directly in the clear to the recipient. Next slide, please, Andrea. And that delivery is called Secure Mail Delivery via Safe TLS. The way I like to think of it as is it's click-free, it's transparent, and it's easy. Next slide, please. So the way that it works, very simply, is that click-free can be turned on anytime a user, or a sender in this case, wants to send a piece of information. When it is turned on, it delivers information to the recipient's mail server in a secure method. If the recipient's mail server cannot receive a secure and encrypted email, it reverts back to the traditional manner of receiving that link and sending them to a portal. So who should use this? This should be used by any organization that is concerned primarily with the delivery of information securely, but the end tracking is not necessarily important. We're not necessarily concerned about forwarding the message and things like that. What will it do for you? It just makes the end user experience easier. It's that whole idea of sending it secure, being compliant with all the regulations, and yet click-free. You don't have to click on that link. One of our HIPAA advisors once commented that we tell all of our email users, don't click on links, don't click on links, don't click on links. And then we send them a secure email and say, click on the link. So TLS fixes that problem. How much does it cost? Guess what? You already have it and it's free. All you have to do to get it is contact your sales representative or send a message to DataMotion support and ask them to turn on Safe TLS for delivery. And it's available to you right now. It's an automatic feature available to you, our customers, at no additional charge. So please communicate with your salesperson or support and get that turned on, because I think you'll find an incredibly valuable resource and just smooths out that recipient experience. Next slide, please, Andrea. So, as I mentioned before, the way it works, the messages are sent to the recipient server. We'd initiate what's called a TLS, or it's a secure link when communicating between different servers. And if the secure link occurs successfully, the message is delivered. If the message does not, a server does not reply with a secure link, the traditional message goes through. Next slide, please. So, just to sum up, we have that when you deliver via TLS, what the end recipient sees is that above the message in their inbox, it shows delivered via secure mail. So even though they've received the message in the clear without a link, there's still a message showing them that it occurred via secure mail. Next slide, please. It comes right into your inbox. It's an industry first, and you can reply. Please note that the reply address is not your email. It's a secure identity email. It does come back to you, but it's a secure reply from Safe TLS delivery. This is unique in the industry. This is awesome for avoiding those high volume or policy restrictions within email. Next slide, please. So we're going to continue our round of the DataMotion platform, talking about another solution within the platform. But before we do, I think we have a poll question, don't we, Andrea? Yes. Does your organization use Salesforce.com? So the polls are now open. I ask you all to vote. Do you use Salesforce.com? This is a CRM or customer management solution. Some people use it for help desk. Others use it for communicating with the organizations. And many of you use it for setting up your billing or setting up your proposal system. About 2/3 of you have voted. I'll give you just a few more seconds for the rest of you to vote. And while the rest of you are voting, thank you guys so much for being interactive on this customer webinar. It's our goal to provide the best solutions to you, our customers. So really do appreciate you being here on this call. Let's give about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2. Let's go ahead and close the voting and see how we turned out here. So interestingly, about 86% of you do not use Salesforce, but about 14% do. And that's okay. I'm going to speak now for just a few moments to those that do use Salesforce. But I want you to think, for those of you that do not use Salesforce, I want you to think about what solutions you do use, and would this feature that I'm about to describe make sense to those of you that do not use Salesforce. Next slide, please, Andrea. Next slide, please. If it'll go. There it goes. So Salesforce.com, as I mentioned, is a customer management solution. And we now have the ability inside Salesforce.com to add a Send Secure button. The idea is that you can still have secure email in another application that you use in your daily work. Salesforce.com in this instance. Your information that you're sending out of the CRM remains just as secure as if you were sending a secure email from Outlook or something like that. Next slide, please. It works also when connecting to Salesforce Service Cloud. It is mobile enabled, so you retain that ability again to protect customer information that's in Salesforce.com. Next slide, please. So, as we talked about just a moment ago, as a CRM, this is used by financial advisors and sales teams. And inside of the CRM, there may be customer account numbers, social security numbers, and other PHI, or protected information. That protected information is secured when you send anything out using secure mail. Next slide, please. So this is just another outlook on how you might use the CRM and secure mail. Next slide, please. So who should use it? Anyone who's using it, the customer CRM, and have been sending messages out from Salesforce, sending Salesforce emails. If you export your reports using Salesforce and you send those reports and they contain customer information, by using this, you have the ability to protect that information in its delivery. To figure out how much it costs and how to connect to this, I recommend that you contact your salesperson. If you're not sure about who your salesperson is, please call DataMotion at our main line and we'll get you connected to your salesperson. And this is immediately available to you as well. So some very cool things in the world of Salesforce.com integration. And all of this is part of DataMotion's ongoing commitment to improving secure transport of information, secure communication. This platform, the DataMotion platform, really extends the communication solutions for collaboration to all of the parties and into the workflow. And I think that's actually our next question. How many different applications or programs do you use on a daily basis at work? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, or 10 or more? I want you to think about this. We're talking about, I was thinking about it, and between Salesforce.com, Outlook, Chrome, I use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. I also use a antivirus program. I was up to about 15 different programs the more I thought about what I used on a daily basis. So about half of you have voted. How many applications do you use? And really think about this. What do you do on a daily basis? What do you log into? What systems do you have to leverage when you're working? Let's give it 2 more seconds here. And let's go ahead and see what the results are. Awesome. So 23% of you use more than 10 applications. And well over half of you use at least 4 or 5 applications. So if you think about this, inside of your daily workflow, you have information that you're sharing. You have documents you're preparing. You have solutions that you're using. And the reason that this is important is that DataMotion, in its ongoing efforts to create a very powerful platform for secure transport, is designed to be built into your daily work. Next slide, please, Andrea. To enable that daily work, next slide, please, we have a number of solutions, not just the Salesforce.com interface that we just talked about, but we also offer, if you'll go back just 1 slide for me, Andrea, we have our unified messaging APIs. I'm going to talk about those more in just a moment. But these application programming interfaces allow you to build in DataMotion secure messaging solutions into your daily applications, and to get your vendors to also build in DataMotion solutions into their tools, so that in your daily workflow you're constantly protecting information. We also have multiple avenues of integration. Most of you are probably familiar with the Send Secure button in Outlook and the ability to put the word secure behind the subject line. But you may not have been aware that we have the ability to connect to different systems using XDR. Not only can we do the SMTP and POP3 that you see in normal email, but we also have just a whole suite of connectivity solutions. So the more you consider how you protect the information you have in your organization, consider leveraging the power of DataMotion's platform to ensure that all of your information is secure when it's in transit. Next slide, please, Andrea. So our web services APIs are just one of the solutions for the connectivity. We also often refer to this as our unified messaging API solution. And the reason we call it that is that these APIs can be used for sending secure email, direct secure messaging. They can be leveraged for our secure forms platform and secure file transfer. In fact, these APIs are able to be integrated in so many different ways. And they're not limited just to messaging that you see on the left-hand side, but we have APIs for provisioning and administration of all your users as well. So if you'd like to get more information about those APIs, about the different interface opportunities, feel free to reach out to any of your salespeople. Next slide, please, Andrea. So this kind of brings us to the end of the part of our customer webinar today, where we talk about our platform and talk about the solutions, the new solutions that are in our platform. I'd like to move forward now and talk about our newest executive. I'd like to welcome Bob Pratt to DataMotion. He is our VP of Sales. Bob, welcome to the call.
Thank you, Andy. It's a great pleasure to be here with DataMotion.
So tell me, Bob, what brought you to DataMotion?
Well, over the last 15 years, I've been in this space with companies such as in sales leadership positions in companies such as Zix, Ironport, and Excellion. And I've seen the messaging industry evolve from various tactical point solutions like secure email, large file transfer, and enterprise file sharing. And many of these solutions today are still point solutions or legacy solutions. They haven't really evolved into a true messaging platform. And at DataMotion, what I noticed was we've developed, in my opinion, the next generation of a unified secure data exchange platform. And that, to me, is very exciting. It's a very disruptive platform. It's a very disruptive platform that will change how we think about sharing and exchanging data securely today.
So I love that you call it a disruptive platform. Do you see that as a real important trend in the way that information is being exchanged and the way the industry is moving?
I do, because again, today a lot of the point solutions still like Zix, even Excellion when you're dealing with file sharing or Box or Dropbox for file sharing. These are just silos of information that you're pushing through. They're not really taking advantage of enterprise workflows. And what we're doing is we're unifying that whole experience. We're unifying those silos of data exchange or email, if you will, secure email, and we're unifying it into one simple interface to share data. So I think it is very disruptive in the fact that no one else works in that paradigm today, and we have developed a platform that can leverage your existing DataMotion secure email platform and now integrate it in with other applications that you're using. As an example, if you're using a CRM solution, you can, as Salesforce, you can integrate with Salesforce. If you're using the Office 365 suite of applications, it's all integrated within that. If you have e-marketing initiatives within your organizations where you need to reach out to your customer base, you can enable all that communication securely within our platform now. So it's more than just secure email through, let's say, Outlook. You can actually unify the whole process through a series of easily defined workflows.
Excellent. So, Bob, I'm going to make this a quick pitch to our customers. If you have questions, comments, or concerns about DataMotion, or you're not sure who your salesperson is, Bob's email is on the screen there, as well as his phone number. I'm going to encourage you to reach out straight to Bob and say, who's my salesperson? I want to get my vendor to put DataMotion into something, or I want to add Safe TLS, something like that. So thanks so much for being on the webinar today, Bob. Any final thoughts for our customers?
Is that question directed at me, Andy?
Yes, it is. Any final thoughts for them?
Yeah, just again, look at DataMotion. Sure, we have secure email today, but if you do have any requirements or issues you're dealing with, you're bringing on another application. Let's say you're using a Salesforce, and you want your users to be able to send messages through Salesforce directly or through any custom applications you've built, rather than jumping in and out of applications just to send email. We can actually handle that directly through the application that your user is working in. And we've also been able to leverage your mobile apps. If you've built custom mobile apps to reach out to your customers, let's say you're an insurance company and you have outreach to customers for bringing on new members, etc. We can enable that mobile app that you've developed to handle any type of secure messaging that would be required for your consumers to communicate with you as well. So yeah, keep us in mind if you're looking to expand and perhaps unify your messaging under one platform.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bob. So as you've heard through most of this webinar today, we've talked a lot about this idea of a platform, a way of delivering information securely across all the different components of your workflow. Next slide, please. One of the things that's available to you as being part of this, and Andrea, if you'll just go through these and bring them all up, DataMotion produces continuously white papers, solution briefs, different tools and infographics for you to really review and find out the best way to deliver information and really to expose all that. Many of our customers find out that they can simply call support and ask and arrange for some specialized time to evaluate what other solutions might be available to them. So I encourage you to open these case studies, download these data sheets, look at these infographics, and there's even more on the next slide that you can go into and evaluate and see what solutions may be out there for you, and if you have questions, to maybe find the answers directly. I want to shift gears now and highlight our customer of the year, and we have on the phone with us Al Fahimi, and Al is with technology liaison with Arnet Technologies. Al, thanks so much for being on the call today. Are you with us, Al? You might be on mute. Oh, Al. Al, are you with us? Well, Arnet Technologies is a provider of networks and security and a number of communication solutions. So as soon as he is able to join us, I will turn it over to Al. Well, I fear Al may be having some telephone issues, and that's all right. We certainly want to thank Arnet Technologies for being the highlight customer of the quarter and being a tremendous partner to DataMotion. And hopefully we can get Al on the phone here in just a second and move forward. But again, thank you, Al, for being on the call. And since Al is having some technical difficulties, maybe we'll move to question and answer. So, and if Al comes back to us here in a moment, we'll come back to Al. So what questions do you all have?
I'm here.
Al's here. Welcome, Al. Thank you so much for being on the call.
I wasn't able to unmute myself, so I could hear you guys, and I was enjoying the whole presentation, so forgive me for that. Again, as you mentioned, you're right. It is actually a technology liaison. I'm with Arnet Technologies. We have been working with DataMotion and your team for a while. And again, I appreciate you having us here today. We provide overall network support services to small and mid-sized companies out there, and we use DataMotion and email encryption services that DataMotion provides as part of basic security and data protection to our entire clientele platform. And of course, email encryption really is part of the an essential part of the compliance these days with majority of both on the financial services, medical, and all the way down to insurance and so forth. And one thing that I want, a good plug for you guys here is that as an IT professional, one of the areas that we've been very impressed with is the type of support we have been receiving from DataMotion as well. It's been outstanding. And the fact that every quarter after quarter we are seeing new feature, more breadth of services and coverage that you guys are creating. Absolutely phenomenal. So thanks for having me here today. I don't want to take away too much from rest of the presentations, but I want to also thank you for all the work that you do and listening to us when we with feature requests and so on and so forth for you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Al. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm glad we got to hear from you. So wonderful to have you on. So any questions out there? I would like on your GoToMeeting screen, you have the ability to ask questions. So I would encourage you to ask any questions you might have. So the first question that we have out there is, I'm currently using Outlook and my ability to send secure, but I have employees who seem to forget to use Send Secure when they're sending information. Is there any way to protect information when the employees forget to do that? And the answer is yes, absolutely. So when employees or anyone who's in your organization is sending messages, and you want to be really confident that the messages that they're sending out are protected, one of the solutions DataMotion has for you is what we call the Secure Mail Gateway. This is a gateway that the messages can pass through on their way out and be audited for any number of different cues. And if the message is found to contain some protected information, automatically convert it to a secure message. It's a way of creating a greater level of data loss protection in your organization. And that is certainly available to you, and feel free to reach out to your salesperson to get more information about that. All right. Next question here. I just got interrupted and have to leave. How can I get connected to somebody at DataMotion to learn more about TLS? Doug, I absolutely would encourage you to join, to call in DataMotion and speak to your salesman and or your account rep, and they can certainly explain it to you. Or my information is also on the in this deck, and you can look that up there. The next question out there says, we'll be able to get a copy of the slides with information on how to use the Safe TLS or the no login receiver email encryption. And absolutely, we'll have information available to you. If you go to the DataMotion website, you can find that. Or I would just strongly encourage you to reach out to your account representative, and they can guide you through any of the questions and answer any questions you might have. Any final questions we have today as we approach the end of our time here? Going once, going twice. All right, well, Al, if we can get you back on, I have one last question for you.
I'm back on.
Well, you're back on. Awesome. Well, Al, if you pick a number between 1 and 31.
How about 17?
17. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, Jody Crusely. Jody, you are the winner of our Starbucks gift card. So, Jody, if you can put in the chat box your email address, make sure that we have it correctly, and we will get that Starbucks gift card on the way to you. In the meantime, folks, thank you so much for being on our quarterly webinar call today to talk about DataMotion and to roll out our newest features. I have a feeling that our next one, which is August 10th, will have even more cool and fun features that will make protecting your information extremely effective. I want to thank Al Freeney from Arnet Technologies for being our guest and highlight customer of the quarter. And I want to thank Bob Pratt, our Vice President of Sales, for being on the call today. I hope that all of you have a tremendous day and a tremendous week. Good night.